Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Life of Kaiser. Now, I know it has been a couple of weeks. It has been a hectic couple of weeks, and I wish that I had better reasons why. I mean, they're not bad. Work, and then my kids were home, and so just spending time with them, doing a lot of things with them was always fun. But then all of them now being in different walks of life made it really, really interesting because they all had something different that they were doing that required me. And sometimes I would just be pulled in a completely different directions and all that. Not to mention, the current situation of the planet where it's just a little stressful. Things were weighing on me. So I'm sorry for disappearing like that. I don't, I wish I had more to say than that, then I'm sorry that I've been gone, but sometimes you just need to take that break and go, look, I have to deal with my own thing. So I hope you guys can forgive me and we can continue to move on. So things have gotten back to normal, for me at least, headspace wise, and just everything around, it's gotten to be better. So hopefully we'll be able to move forward and things will be great. So like I said, hopefully you'll be willing to join me with that. So let's see, what can I tell you? Well, what did we do? So I went to King's Dominion for a little bit and rode some rides there, and that was great. And then went to Hershey Park for the first time, which, by the way, is gigantic. If you've never been to Hershey Park, you should go to Hershey Park because it was huge, right? So that was really cool. They had tons of coasters, so I really enjoyed that park with my kids, which was great. And one of the things that was really funny that my kids were going bananas about were the characters that they the different characters that they had, because I mean, they could have been better, they could have some better designs, but the way my kids were roasting these character designs were hilarious. But all in all, so that was fine, right? That was cool. That was really nice. Went to a couple concerts, started learning some bass. I know I told you guys that I got that. It was for my birthday. And so I've actually been kind of slowly but surely trying it out and trying to make sure that I could get it and be good and stuff like that. So that was good. And yeah, just life, just life in general. Now, as far as the artistic side, I did go to Big Lick, Roanoke. 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, I went to Roanoke, and the experience was great, right? I loved going there and being with the Big Lick Entertainment. They're fantastic. I love working with those guys. I'm looking forward to the next one that I get to do with them. But for some reason, even though there were plenty of people, there were plenty of people that were running through the halls, for some reason, the way that it was kind of laid out didn't get to where we were. So I was with all the comic guests, and we were just in our own alley, which was cool, but we were sandwiched between vendors, and then the guests are at the end. And so we didn't really get a lot of foot traffic. A lot of the people that came through to the guests were people who were like, oh, I know you're here, so I wanted you to sign this book or something like that. And since I'm really on the beginning of that journey of bringing books and stuff like that, people weren't really looking for me, right? So it was a very slow day for me, or weekend for me as far as work went. But I was able to, I have this one, right? So I was able to start back on the ninja-fied G.I. Joe, which I do plan on doing again. I want to get that, so I'm going to be doing a lot more of those because I really want to put some more ninja-fied G.I. Joe stuff out. Because now that the book, so my book has finally gone to the printer, which is great. So issue 1 has gone to the printer, and everyone who supported on Kickstarter and got the digital stuff, they've already gotten all their things. Now we're just waiting on the physical copies to come in. And now that that's done, I'm gonna play around with trying to put together like a 10-page comic for the pitch to Skybound, because I really want to do, if anything, if the pitch doesn't go anywhere, I'll just put it up online and I'll just be like, hey, this is what we did, right? Hopefully that will be fine and whatnot. But I want to do a couple character designs, and then just do these 10 pages and go, hey, this is an idea that I had. I'd really like to be able to show it to you, maybe do 6 issues or something like that. Because if they let me do 6 issues of Ninja 5 G.I. Joe, that would be great. I would put together 6 issues of Ninja 5 G.I. Joe, no problem whatsoever. I would be happy to do that. And so I'm going to be doing some more concept work on these sketch covers that I have, because I really want to be able to do that. I just think it'll be fun. Yeah, and the story's a little bit different. So G.I. Joe is actually the bad guys in this situation. So I think it would be a nice little story to tell, and it'd be really cool if it kind of got some type of feedback from like Larry Hama or something like that. That would be fun. But all in all, the show Big Lick itself was it was slow. Like I said, I was able to do that. I did some other drawings, but it was all for me, right? I did all these drawings for me and not really for anyone there. So that was kind of a bummer. But the event itself was fantastic. I loved it. Like I said, I cannot wait to go to another one of their events, because they are amazing, right? They obviously, you cannot force people to come to your table and whatnot, but everything surrounding it, it was really great. Like, we were all friends. That's what it felt like, right? From the organizers to the fans to everyone was a friend, and that was a really nice experience. So I was really happy to have that happen. It was really cool, right? So really happy about that. Let's see, what else is happening? Oh, I don't have the full book, obviously, but I do have these test prints, right? So I put like 8 pages together to see what it would look like printed, you know? And so I have a couple of copies that I'm like, ooh, look, I have this thing. And one of the things, and I'm gonna try it for next time, so with issue 2, I'm looking at this, and I think that the texture of the paper is not necessarily coming through as much as I would like. And so I want to see if I add another paper texture on top of it, if it will actually show up more and give me the texture that I'm looking for. But luckily with these test prints, I can actually just try it and see what happens. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, great. It cost me like 30 bucks. So I'm really happy about that. But I was able to look at some of these covers, right? I got to see what the covers would look like. I was only able to do 4, right? But being able to see the covers, like, ooh, this is gonna be nice. I'm really looking forward to this book coming. I'm really looking forward to being able to work on issue 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Like, I'm really excited about pushing forward, because once I turned it in, I got excited, right? And then people were able to read it, and they're like, ooh, this seems cool, or this is awesome, do that, do this, you know? So that was really fun. So I'm really looking forward to the growth and continuation of the Ninja Empire, and I hope that you guys will join me if you are in a position to really help the growth of the Ninja Empire. Please go check out my Patreon. I do exclusive stickers, and I'm really gonna start pumping out a lot of work, because one of the things that I didn't do was really just push to draw something Ninja Empire every day, give the people something, a little bit of extra story or something in my Patreon, so that people would be excited to come to it, because I really do want to grow that and build that community, so that when I start making new characters and whatnot, they can actually help me, which I liked at the very beginning of what I was doing with Patreon, because people would be like, oh, do this and do that. And some of my best characters, in my opinion, came from the interactions I had with the community for Ninja Empire. So I'm really hoping that we can actually rebuild that idea and get that moving again. And I know that most of it was on me, right? Because it was just a lack of posting and stuff like that. Because in my head, I was posting in other places, not necessarily the stuff that I want to post for Patreon, but it was just a lot of stuff that I was trying to post. And I was like, oh no, they're gonna see it, they're all gonna see it. And that's not fair. So I wanna to do something for Patreon, and I'm thinking about trying to do like, hey, what image should I draw to completion, right? Do a couple thumbnails, throw it up there. I saw that from another Patreon person, and I was like, oh, this would allow me to actually force the interaction and then get some really cool stuff in the process. Like every month I'll produce a new image that I might make mini posters for, or actually just do posters. I don't know. So we're going to be experimenting a lot, and I hope that you come and join us over on Patreon. Let's see, what else? I will be doing a project for DC, retro DC. So I'll be doing some work there. As soon as I can actually post about it, I will. I'm still waiting on approvals for my Superman stuff from DC so that I can show you guys what I did. But I am still trying to get my way, or keep my status as professional with all the big companies. So I will do stuff here and there to keep my name in the hat, per se, you know, and try and do that. One of the things that I've been doing, so I'm really struggling with whether or not to keep trying with the big companies or to just like 100% full focus and just go, you know what, don't do that. Your professional status will come from the books that you are producing and stuff like that. Like, so I don't know. So I always take on like a new project just in case. And I'm really starting to think that I need to focus, you know, so that maybe I can get 2 to 3 books out a year, because I really don't want to wait forever. And one of the issues I had with this book was that I was taking my time. Not necessarily that's a bad thing, but I was taking my time in the sense of, oh, well, it's my book, I don't have to do a deadline. Oh, it's my book, I don't have to do a deadline. And I think I would like to change that. So I think I'm going to try and give myself a deadline. And I work well with deadlines when I know the impending doom is coming. And so I think I'm going to try and do that, try and get 2, possibly 3, because if I get 3 books out a year, I would be extremely happy, right? 3 books out a year would be fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Oh, well, I have fallen behind on my sketchbook challenge. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be trying to fill out as much as possible. I have to try and get at least to the 3, right? I got to get to at least 3, so then I can be like, look, you know, when my students are like, I did 5, I'm like, that's great. I said you had to do 3. You get bonus points if you do 5. I did 3 amidst my life, you know, and so I have to do that. And we're gonna cheat. We're not gonna cheat. We're just gonna break out the marker so that I don't have to draw on both sides. Whereas when I was drawing on this one at the very beginning of the challenge, and when I was drawing hands and whatnot, I literally drew on both sides with pencil. So it was an actual training versus, holy crap, I need to get this done. And I think now what's going to happen is it's going to be more of a, holy crap, I'm now going to get this done, versus what I really want to have happen. So we'll see, right? We're going to see what's what as we move forward. But yeah, I don't want to just do it to do it. And that's where I'm at right now. So I think instead, because I was doing something really cool with this one, right? So I have my Pinterest boards, but I have a Ninja Empire Pinterest board, and I was copying all the things that I kind of put in there just to really get my brain to start thinking in that vein, like the whole time, design-wise, pose-wise, all that kind of stuff like that. And so I really wanted to focus on that, and I have been taking my time, and I think that that's a good thing. So I think what I'm going to do is do 2 books of gesture drawings. And to be honest, if you spend an hour or 2 just doing gesture drawings, you can knock out a sketchbook pretty quickly, especially if you're not trying to draw on both sides. So, you know, probably do like 1 minute gesture drawings, put 2 or 3 on a page, you know, 3, that'd be 20 pages, if I did 1 hour, you know what I mean? So I could knock out a couple with a couple hours and stuff like that. So I think that that's probably what I'm going to do to fulfill it, so that I don't waste what I'm doing, because I really do. I am going to probably, more than likely, start a series called Study With Me, and I want to take like art books, I want to take comic books, I want to take instructional books, right? Once a month, just it's a new thing, but so it would be 3 weeks of, okay, I did this, I started here, and then on the 4th week, it would be, okay, so hopefully we've gotten through the book, or we've done enough, here's what I've learned, here's the things that I did, and then have a drawing at the end, right? But it's mostly just, hey, come draw with me, this is who I'm doing, come study this with me. So if I do a study on Greg Capullo, and you want to study Greg Capullo, you can grab the book and you can draw it with me, right? You can trace the pages with me. You can, do whatever it is that you think would be necessary to help you study. Because one thing that I want to do, one thing that I really, really want to do, is do the video pause, right? If you're like, oh, do you want to be a storyboard artist? Then here, every time you got this, bam, here's a storyboard, here's a storyboard, here's a storyboard. But also, here's an action, here's an action. One thing that I really desperately want to pick up is how animators are doing the special effects with their like magic and swords and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to start looking at videos and then pausing it and going frame by frame to see just how they did that and which frame would be the best to translate into comics, because there's going to be a lot of magic and a lot of fantasy that's going to start happening in these books right now, because issue 1, it's from issue 0 to issue 1, it's a setup. Issue 2, we start seeing action. 3, 4, 5, and 6 is all, it's going to be pure action for a lot of different reasons in a lot of different ways and stuff like that. So, I want to make sure that it's nice and fanciful so that it can be pretty cool, right? And I want to pull from different viewpoints of how to do art, right? And see if I can't meld it all together and then come up with something interesting with my graphic style, right? And so that's the plan. That's where we're going to go from here on out. I think that eventually I'm going to put up a video, and I don't know how I want to do that though, but I'm going to figure something out to where it's like, hey, I'm watching this video and I paused it and then I drew it, and I paused and I drew it, and here's what I learned, kind of thing. I think that would be fun too. It's like, here's what you can learn from watching this, that, and the other thing. And so I think that's what's going to happen from my educational side. It's to help me get better. So it's definitely going to be a very selfish thing. Like, I'm going to do it so that I can get better. But I think that it would be helpful as I go about working with these and figuring out how best to do the study with me. I think that maybe Study With Me Sunday, something, where we just sit down and we study together, I think would be pretty cool. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I in my live stream, should I do a study, like, Study With Me Sundays? And then that way we can just try and work out, learn some things, maybe start a little earlier. I don't know. Kind of sounds interesting. Because I'm really thinking about trying to make themed stuff. So we got Watercolor Wednesday. If we could have Study With Me Sunday and then something Monday, right? I'll have to figure out something for Monday. But that way you know exactly what you're coming in for, type of deal. I think that would be fun. Because what I'm really trying to do is keep my comics, unless it's absolutely necessary. If I have to do, if I'm falling behind on a deadline, I have to catch up on my deadline, that kind of thing, then obviously I'll take the stream time to do it. But if not, I want to keep the comic off so that it makes the Patreon more important, right? Because before I was showing everyone, oh, I'm drawing it online, you can see it, I'm doing the colors online, you could see everything. I think I want to keep that for the Patreon as awards so that you can actually see it as it happens, right? Here you go, here's the first page, here's the second page, here's the third page kind of deal. So once again, if you are in a position to where you can help build the Ninja Empire, please, please, please consider going over to my Patreon and signing up for a tier. It would be very, very helpful. Also, if you wouldn't mind just sharing it with anyone else who you think would be willing to do that. Let's see, wow, is there anything else? At this point, I really don't think so. I think I'm going to start working on a sketchbook so I can have that. I think I want to have a sketchbook for Ocean City. So there are two places that I want to premiere things. One is Awesome Con in March, and the other one is in Ocean City. So I think I'll have the book, and then it'd be cool to have a sketchbook as well. So I think we're gonna do that. So yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna be working on a sketchbook here soon. Also, I got to start throwing together the trading cards idea, which is something I'm going to be asking on Patreon. Is like, hey, do you like this trading card idea where it's the watercolor stuff and it's on it, or do you want the full character and the, you know, they're doing a pose, bam, and it's like an actual trading card? I don't know. We're gonna find out together. I'll probably be doing that online though, so people can watch me do that and see what happens. But besides that, I think, you know, we're all pretty much caught up. Like I said, most of it was very boring. You know, it just wasn't in a good space. But now I'm feeling a lot better. Things have gotten back kind of in line, and we're in a good spot now. So thank you all so very much for coming back, hopefully, to watch the Life of Kaiser and see what in the world has been going up with me. I plan on doing better each week, so I want to be able to give you guys updates and stuff and more things on conventions and stuff, because next week we're going to Atlantic Con for the first time. Very excited about Atlantic Con, and I want to be able to tell you guys what happened and show you and give you more of a breakdown of what that would be. So anytime I'm at a convention, you can see my perspective of what it is. And I got to try and remember to film more of it. And with that though, I was able to get, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got a mic, and hopefully the audio will sound better, but I got this new mic called the Booyah mic, and it's pretty cool, right? So it looks like this, right? So I can attach it to a stand and have a mic like that. Then it's also got, right, so I can do interview style, and if you open up the case, right, it's got two, so one and then two, it's got two mobile portable microphones as well, and it attaches to your camera and all that kind of good stuff. But it's super portable, and I like it, and it connected to my old phone right? It worked just great. So I'm very excited to see how it's going to work and if it works well, because then I can start up the Real Talk again, because I don't have to worry about the audio being poopy. So there's that. More things happening. So hopefully in Atlantic Con we'll even get some Real Talk. So more content is coming. So please stay tuned. Thank you for subscribing. If you're new to the channel and you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notified every single time that I drop new content. Thank you guys so very much from the bottom of my heart. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very much. And I hope to see you on a stream. And if you do show up on my streams, please, please say something. Say hi, stick around. You know, let me know that you guys are there. Stream Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday from 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I would love to see you guys there. So thank you all so very, very much. And I will see you at the next episode.